Out the gate. Out the gate.
It's not every day you get to see us in the same place at the same time, but god damn it, it's happening.
It's happening today.
So welcome. We're talking about.
This is a first. This is a crushing first right here.
You know, after 20-some odd episodes, it's finally we got. You would think that we never even met each other. Like we're some catfishing this entire time.
I think most rooms can't handle this. This is the thing. You know, we had to find a very secret society location to hold it down. Something with the right lighting, the right atmosphere, the right libations.
And just so you guys know, we are not under duress.
He's not blinking.
Yeah. Somebody save me.
Help. Why are they in a locked room?
Who's the guy with the ball and chain in the background? He rubs the lotion on his skin.
Who records a podcast when they've been kidnapped? Make the best of every situation, okay? 100%. Make the most of every
lemonade,
situation.
Huh? Lemonade.
That's it.
Lemonade. So,
yeah, let's talk about making the most of all situations. 2024. It is time to get serious. And I mean serious in a whole different light. And I've been in a mood, if you will, up the past 3 weeks. Ever since New Year's, we did a recording about it. We talked about all the difficulties of 2023, how 2024 was starting out and stuff like that. And so I would just like to come out and say right now, I'm in a whole different mood of grind or die. I mentioned it the other day on one of our IG posts about grinding and dying. People talk about rise and grind. Fuck that. Grind and die. That's it. Go till you can't. Lay it down for a few hours, because that's what I've been doing, if you can, and then get up and keep going. I mean, between the two of us, we've got like 17 jobs, I think. Uh-oh. You have an intruder?
Yeah.
They know you need more protein, man. They are sacrificing themselves for your cause.
You know what? I'm so sick of this shit. This isn't even like a restaurant glass either. I mean, it's just stuff just taking a bath in my damn cup.
That is the finest of crystal plasticware.
Man, yeah, the top of the line with little pieces of lint and Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, I'm serious though. Like trying to get into a headspace of. You watch all these people constantly, I mean, whether it's reality or you read their book, reality meaning like, I guess false reality, like Instagram and TikTok and all that, social media reality, or you read their book and you're feeling motivated and you feel like you're putting in the work and you're doing all the things. Well, I guess my point is I've gotten to a point now where the grinding, I have become those people that I keep reading about. Right? My habits are on point, I try to get decent sleep, although it never happens. But I try to get decent sleep. But I'm getting the fitness piece right. I'm getting the dieting, the clean diet correct. I'm getting the mental acuity and focus, from those things. It's all like it all kind of compounds on each other once you get going. Yeah. I have cut back on partaking a little bit.
This is not beer.
It
comes from grapes.
Yeah,
so
true. It's healthy. It's healthy. I haven't had any fruit today.
Shit.
Check.
Yeah, exactly. I had bananas, now I've got grapes.
Yeah.
Now good to go.
So I find that I'm like, so I think the result of the equation that I'm building with my words is that 2024 is not a hopeful year. 2024 is this has to be this year.
Yeah.
Things have to pop off. The grinding has to pay off this year. Because I've become the things that I've wanted to become. And now it just takes the consistency, I think, for us continuing to grind, trying not to die to make it happen,
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. I don't granted, it's become like it's like a catchphrase, like the grind and whatnot. Which absolutely, everybody has to get out there and go do it. But at some point, I think it will stop. You know what I mean? To be like the grind is for just like the whole self-improvement thing. Just so like you said, you're piecing it all together. and then it's just gonna just flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have created this. Then now it's not like a grind anymore. You like the grind is getting to that point, and then you've achieved it, and now it's just maintaining it. But it should be hopefully a state of, dare I say, bliss. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just kind of like, you know what? It's flowing. There's no friction anywhere. It's all just kind of going.
So everything is it goes from grinding to becoming a passive benefit of your efforts.
Yeah.
Right? Your fitness, because you and I both know, like once you're at that, 6% body fat, it's fairly easy to maintain that if you don't fucking legitimately let yourself go. Yeah. Which I will admit, folks, I did it for a little bit. I let myself go. I was working out, but my diet was trash.
Diet's everything.
And stress has a different effect on everybody too. Absolutely. Unfortunately, at this stage in the game, at 40, stress does not look good on me. I'll just say that much. So, got to get the mind right. But with all that grinding too, for seeking for financial freedom or whatever it may be, that then becomes hopefully a passive income story. So Blair and I are making investments right now for that reason. We've got I think I've talked about the fifth wheels that we have and stuff like that we've had carried over from a past life where we did the full-time fifth wheeling life, and now one of those is rented out to a full-timer, right? So that is now passive income, and it's good passive income, because I did my research and I know how much people are paying to do that. So
invest your stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make money while you sleep. You heard it before, you're hearing it again. No, and the thing about it is, like, luckily, like, this is what you're able to do, and this is like definitely like my mentality. We have assets. You're putting it to work. You've got a trailer. Instead of it sitting there, put it to work. You know what I mean? Like, why not? If you got a house, you got extra rooms sitting around, put them to work. I mean, we can create these different streams of income. You just got to be creative with it, and which is awesome too. Is that we have the technology that makes it possible. You know what I mean? Like Airbnb before that, people were just sitting there with like maybe cribs that were sitting there empty or struggling to get tenants in it or whatever else. Now it's like you put it on Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever the hell else, and then people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in that area. That place looks nice. Done. They cut
mentioned the technology too. You being fucking lazy. If you're not taking advantage of the fucking Google, it's at your fingertips. You're like, oh, I don't know how to get started with that. Like, and something you said a minute ago, it just sparked. Like you said, you have an extra room in your house. Okay. Do you have your own company? Like, have you done that for yourself? If so, it's not that you have to rent that room out, but you can write off the square footage of that and use it as your home office. Absolutely. For your self-company, whether you're making money or not. Get smart on tax laws. Yeah.
That's said you had to be successful.
No. In fact, there's a lot of really great people. And I'm going to blank their names, or I'm going to botch them because they're super smart and they have complex names. But, they talk about how debt, if you use it the right way, is fantastic.
It's an accelerator.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt.
Oh, well, bad debt would be, you trying to live the high life. Yeah. And you got $20,000 on a credit card. Yeah. That's bad debt. 100%. You buy assets, properties,
something that will ultimately, like, even if you are going to say you incur debt to improve upon something, you improve your kitchen, whatever, but the ROI on that
stands for return on investment.
But if that's the way you're looking at it long-term wise, I'm going to make much more off this 5, 10K, whatever investment, but then now it's an investment.
And that, even those details, those specific details, I know because I'm in the middle of remodeling my house in Vegas right now. It's all online. You can go online and look up very specifically the return on investment of, oh man, like, I want to put in a custom bar in my house. Look at it. The return on investment is not great. But if you go and look at upgrading your bathrooms and your kitchen, the return on investment is huge. Yeah. Flooring is huge if you're doing it the right way.
It's those little things that go like, I mean, especially, you know, the thing about it too is, it also is, it's kind of, granted, I don't know, but I know there's contemporary styles that are like the way to go, you know? And then there's some, I don't know what classic type of interior designing and all that's not like my space, but like there's that lane you can go into as well, you know? Like some, like, there's like a time when like, you know, an accent wall was like the thing, you know, or having marble countertops or granite countertops, whatever. And like now I see some of these places, like in some of these magazines, interior design magazines, they got like the wood, like it's like a wooden countertop. I'm like, when the fuck was that?
That's what I did at the old house I had down in San Diego with the mantles that I custom built.
Yeah. It was just like, when the hell?
But you have a couple rental properties, you know. You don't want your rental property don't decorate that and invest in it like it's your forever home.
Not at all.
You get it to
code,
to code.
Yeah.
Make it look comfortable because you want people to walk in and be like, oh yeah, I could really see myself living here and paying what you're asking.
Yeah.
But you're not decking it out with marble here and glass and
so I can replace or let them tear it the fuck up. Like,
that's right.
Something that's just durable. It does its job. They're there to
but easily replaceable.
100%. Especially like when it comes to flooring. You know, if you're gonna get carpet, get that cheap basic shit. It looks decent and all that, or just go hardwood. Like now I just got hardwood. You know what I'm saying? Now I can go ahead and just
especially you get those planks too. Because that way, if they got a dog that scratches the shit out of one, pop that plank out, pop another one in.
Yeah,
done.
Exactly.
If they tear a hole in the fucking carpet in the middle of the room, you got to replace the whole fucking
everything's got to go.
Yep.
Everything must go. Be smart. You know what I mean? So, there's definitely there's ways, man. I think it's just a matter of sitting down and really thinking about it. And you know what? Like, I think everyone has the capacity to get these things done, to make these things happen. I think it's more so getting over the fear of starting. You know what I'm saying? And that was like my biggest hurdle. It's just kind of like, fuck, like, do I want to take on the responsibility that is being a homeowner or a landlord and all this other stuff? But then it's like, you know what? It's like anything else. Once you kind of jump in there, it becomes like this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're doing. You figure it out and you get comfortable in that new status, in that new place. And then you find out, like, you know what? I do have the capacity to do these different things. I can make these decisions. It ain't not the fucking rocket science. Hey, the pipe just burst. What should we do? Fucking fix it. Now, how do we go about fixing it? Do I call the plumber for $300? You know what I'm saying? Or can I get in there and do it myself and go and check it on YouTube real quick? Like, all these different things start popping up. And then it's like, well, shit. And all you're doing is problem solving. Some people don't want,
What is problem solving? It is, but it's investing in yourself.
Oh, 100%.
Because as soon as you do it once, now you're like, oh, I can do this, and I just saved how much money?
Exactly.
So you're like, yeah, okay, you could have called the plumber, and he could have done it for $300. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's $500. Okay, let's just go worst case and say $500, nice round number. And then you go on YouTube, and you're like, shit, I don't have any of those tools. Okay, but that's a one-time investment.
True.
You go and buy those $500 worth of tools. Time is money. You think, like, oh, I could just have them go do it. Can I really afford it? Well, it's a one-time investment for you. Versus paying him is going to be every time it happens.
Yeah.
$500 now, and now you are doing your own work. You know? Absolutely.
You know, like the one thing that someone told me way back in the day was like, well, you don't have to know everything, but you will pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So like any service, anything that you're not willing to put in the effort to actually go out there and learn for yourself. Now, granted, we can't be experts on everything. There are some brains out there that can do that. It's about to happen. But there are some brains out there that can do that. However, you pay for what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, like in terms of like the plumber, something like that, like the fixer-uppers around the house, that's something like to learn. You know, get the tool set, whatever. Even like your car. You know what I mean? Which we were talking about earlier. Doing stuff like that. If you have the capacity, try to learn it. Try to do it yourself. Save yourself some dough. If not, like for me, accounting, shit, you guys can do that. You know what I mean? I'll pay someone to do that. It's too much of a headache trying to figure out the laws and all that. And they got the fucking tax codes like this thick. Yeah, that's a whole different discussion. Anyway. But, you know, like, and then for me, in my mind, it's always like, okay, how much do I outsource and how much do I take on myself? If I take on more myself, I'm going to lose my damn mind. Some of the things that are going on out there. Until it's automated and it's just flowing and it just works. But the more, and it's also kind of like, what's your time worth to you? Is it worth me to pay the, $150 to somebody to do whatever so that I'm freed up to go do more pressing things that are going to, basically like that's just some menial task? Or is my time better spent on this task, and I'm not out there generating because now I'm focused on this one thing, whatever
So-
the case might be.
So let me latch on to two things you said. So I'll start with that one. One, I mean, it really depends on. Obviously, it's each person individually, but I mean, like for me, I enjoy working on my vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a mechanics household, so I have a pretty good working knowledge of the mechanics anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have like a welder and a lift in my garage, although goals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I'll have me a MIG welder, I'll have me a lift, I'll be running, you know, my own exhaust and all my own thing, you know, whatever. But there's things, you know, as fathers of daughters, it's interesting because I'll be like, okay, you know, I got to go rotate the tires, or I'm gonna go change the brakes, or I'm gonna just go change the oil, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I do all my own work on all my vehicles, and my girls love helping out. Now, there's some things where I, you know, risk versus reward. Do I really want my 5-year-old underneath, you know, a 1-ton dually? No. You know what I mean? If somebody's gonna get crushed, it's gonna be me. You know, but you know, that sparks their interest too. So what I'm saying is that, again, it's an investment. So you learn how to do something. For me, it's stress relieving. You know, what do they call that?
Cathartic?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, my mind's a blank.
It's a stress release?
Yeah, it's a stress release. So either way, I enjoy doing it. You know, it brings me pleasure to do those things, and so I do them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my kids want to join in, it just doubles that. You know, because now I'm spending quality time with them, teaching them something that now they're going to feel comfortable doing when they get older. So investing in yourself, investing in time. So time is money. What is your time worth? Depends on the situation. You know, if I don't have the time, I can't do an alignment myself.
Mm-hmm.
Those machines are incredibly expensive, and I would never get my money's worth out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go get my alignment done for $100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I'll pay someone else to do that. But
no, I mean, I'm right there. Like for me now, I do like the oil changes on my motorcycle because me dropping the 100 and some change to get that done. When I can get a few bottles for, you know, less than $100, less than $50 sometimes. If you're talking about me, I drain it, light a cigar while it's doing that, enjoy, listen to some music, and when it's done, cap it, put the new fucking filter on there, put some new shit in there, and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Did all that by my damn self, you know? And it was fun. I can sit there and just sip and drink and do whatever I want while it's draining. So, I mean, it's just simple stuff like that. I get a joy. I get a kick out of it. You know? But then sometimes I'm like, you know, fuck this, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get under there today. I got something to do or whatever. Then I'll just run it by someplace. I'll spend the same amount of time, more than likely. Especially if I take into account the travel in there, doing everything else, and then driving back. I probably could have done it myself.
That's just having simple conversations with yourself. Like if you're, you know, foregoing a business opportunity that you know is going to, let's just say, pay you $1,000 that day. You're like, oh, I really need to change the oil. You know, I'll just talk about my vehicles. Well, my motorcycle, whatever. I really got to change the oil. You know, and you know, maybe, you know, replace the front brakes or something. So now it's going to be a full day adventure where I'm going to go drop $300 on the parts and I'm going to make nothing. Well, at that point, it might be worth it, you know, if it has to get done that day, take it to somebody else, go make that fucking money. Yeah. Right? Because now it costs them, you know, maybe you spent an extra couple $100, maybe you spent $500, but you made $1,000, you're still up $500. Yeah. Versus you were just negative $300. It's $800 difference. Hey, based on a quick decision you had to make with yourself, you know? Yeah.
I mean, if you got that kind of time, especially if you perfect your processes, like that's always the goal. You get to a point where like life's running and it's just automated. Checks are just flowing just because.
Therapeutic.
Ah, okay.
I knew it was okay. I was like, why is this such a difficult?
It's borderline the same. Like finding a joy in like the process and the work. It's like cathartic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, absolutely, it is therapeutic. You know, it's like I don't know. Some things are just that. I think if you can find that zone where it is therapeutic to do work, that's where you've hit that's like that blissful state. You
As
know,
long
for
as-
me,
as long
once
as
I'm
it's-
jogging and I'm really moving, and it's just kind of like you hit that second wind, and then it's just like a joke, and it's just like nothing but like this high. That's where you want to be. If you like in the day-to-day job, in like that grind, right? You hit like this point where it's just kind of like, I'm fucking jamming right now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the goal. You know, unfortunately, it's fleeting. You know, it comes and then it goes, and then it comes back in whenever it wants to show up, and then it goes. You know, and that's just the name of the game. But yeah, man, it's interesting.
Invest in yourself, man, and it's never easy. So the other thing you talked about was being afraid to kind of dive into something, being afraid to make that initial investment.
Mm-hmm.
And look, like this is where it takes time. It takes time because unless you come from money, you got to find the money or the idea and sell that idea for money to even make those initial investments to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the real grind comes in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is where, you know, you hear about people, you know, working 3 jobs to put themselves through Harvard. They were investing in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 3-4 hours of sleep a night, you know, graduating, you know, with honors from Harvard, stuff like that is grinding right there to the point that you achieve success.
And you're banking on this is all going to pay off.
You know it is, because you know if you come out what is it?
Magna cum laude.
Magna cum laude or whatever, you know, like out of Harvard for whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
You're guaranteed 6 figures, but 6 figures starts at $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, you know, goes quite a bit higher from there before you hit 7, and you could be anywhere in that range depending on what it is you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So those 3 minimum wage jobs that you were hustling, busting your ass to get to that's the investment.
Mm-hmm.
So time, investing your time in yourself, investing the money. You've always been very frugal, you know, like, and I mean that in a great way.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you're good at saving your money.
There's nothing wrong with frugality. Let's just be clear. I get roasted for it, but it is what it is.
Or fragility. He's got that too. But,
I know, right? I mean, I'm tender right now.
see, that word came to me no problem. But the other one, therapeutic, just my mind's a blank.
Something with a T.
Something with a T. That's probably what it was. I was like, no, it starts with a T. Turmeric. No, it's not that.
But it's a.
But no, I mean, you're right. That you got to get creative. You got to figure out how am I going to get from A to B, and that's the hard part, because there's people out here. There's millionaires that will sell you their book on how to become a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
But they won't give you the actual tricks and the tips that got them from A to B.
Life hacks.
Yeah. Because the hardest part is, and I'm sorry, the hardest part, and this was in all of my Hollywood experiences and, you know, nightclub promoting and just doing the nightlife thing and DJing and all these other things that I've done in my past. I had lots of people who were like, yeah, come work for me and learn. And I'm like, okay, but you have to learn how to get from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
B to Z, that's autopilot.
Yeah.
In my experience, right? To you, for this particular analogy, B to Z is autopilot, but figuring out how to break into it and get into, you know, get comfortable being uncomfortable,
Yeah, get your feet wet,
and get into that grind and find a rhythm. That is it's the hardest, scariest part of the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
But once you're there, it's like,
Okay.
fuck, say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm ready to go to battle now, you know. Because now I know that I can overcome, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you throw at me, I'm going to be able to overcome this. And that is shit that I still do with day to day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, life isn't easy. I have one mentor, he talks about all the time, there's no easy days. There's just not. And that's not because life is difficult. It's almost a personal choice.
It is.
Choosing to be uncomfortable in order to be successful means you will have no easy days.
It's definitely by choice, because there is an easier way. However, it's not very satisfying, nor is it fruitful. You know what I'm saying? If you're constantly having difficult days, and not necessarily difficult like like I'm starving, like that type difficult, but in terms of just very challenging days, and that's constantly what you're what you're facing on a daily basis, that's you choosing to take those responsibilities on. A lot of people, some folks opt out. They have the easy days, but then they're like, well, they're left wanting. Like, well, life sucks, like I'm bored or whatever the case might be. That's because you haven't accepted the challenge. You know what I'm saying? You accept the challenge, now it's like, okay, well, yeah, tomorrow could be difficult or tomorrow could be easy. I don't really know what I'm going to get into tomorrow. However, I'm ready for it. Like, let's do it. You know, and then you just kind of figure it out on the fly and you brainstorm and everything else.
Don't sit here and complain about, not having all the stuff you see people on Instagram and TikTok out there flashing around in their, big houses with their Ferraris and their money. And, first of all, I'm going to go with 80% of what you see on social media is fake.
It's rented, yeah.
Right? I mean,
it's this for like 20 minutes real quick.
Yeah. Yep.
Done.
But that investment, right? Let's say they rented a mansion for a couple hours to shoot a couple TikTok videos because they got 1 million followers. Well, you paid for that rental. And the more you pay for that rental, eventually that person who's doing the renting is going to own that fucking thing.
100%.
So it's smart investments.
100%.
Time, money, and honestly, like, be careful where you leave your heart. Not to tap into that, but be careful where you leave your heart.
Man.
You put your heart out, you rent your heart to somebody or a few people, whoever it may be.
Man.
That you better be ready for that roller coaster.
You know what, man? And granted, I say this in jest, but
no, you don't.
It's you know what I mean? Like it's tough because like you could say that folks should only rock with. Let's say you make it big, right? Like the only people you could truly trust is those that you kind of came up with before you made the money, right? Before you even started getting on. But then even then, it's kind of like borderline dangerous. You can, do you think which one is better? Is it, to me in my mind, it's like there's the only way that you can really. It's the folks that you came up with, but also it's the folks that are in your same space as well. You know what I mean? Like really wealthy people only fuck with other wealthy people.
Yeah.
Just because you don't need me, you got your own millions, so you can have like a legit good time, as opposed to.
And that good time is probably going to equate to more money for us because someone's going to have an idea that we all have enough money to invest in without even blinking.
Yeah, we can just do that. Hey, you guys all in? Cool. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I heard this saying, and I need to stop saying that I heard these things. I need to own these things like I came up with it. But okay, so here you go. If I win the lottery, and when I say family, I mean the one that I was born into and the one that I've created for myself. When I win the lottery, this is not specific to everyone, but that 80-20 rule, I can guarantee you 80% of folks are going to say, we won the lottery.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But if I go bankrupt tomorrow, they're going to say, he went bankrupt.
Yeah.
We didn't go bankrupt. Papa Joe went bankrupt.
Yeah.
But if Papa Joe wins the lottery, we won the lottery.
Yeah.
We're popping bottles with Papa Joe. We won the lottery.
That's like the wrong pronoun, pretty sure. We, no. That's incorrect.
Who?
No, I'm talking about in terms of what they're using and what the reality is. It's just you.
No, it is just me.
And I'd be quick to correct. But to be clear, there's no we about this.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as we got that understanding across the board. Now, you get 20 grand. You get 20 grand. You know what I'm saying? But like some folks may just sort of insert themselves.
Is in the building. Let's just be clear. There is no we in this conversation.
You know what I mean? Because folks will do that. Absolutely. And for me, I'm quick to check them. I know I pause. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I ain't seen you in 20 years. You know what I mean? Let's have a real quick break. There's gonna be an order to these things when it comes down to it. And when it's all said and done. Yeah. I'm gonna take care of folks, make sure everybody gets taken care of and all that. And then probably more than likely, depending on who these.
I'm gonna use that as my number one reason to just start trimming the fat. You don't get shit. You don't get shit. You don't get shit. You're on the edge, motherfucker.
Keep acting up, goddammit.
You got half a chance.
Strip, goddammit. Yeah. Like, okay, I don't want to, but fine. I don't want to do it. Oh, just make sure I'm in
goddamn clothes on.
But you're willing to do it, so you're back.
Okay. Don't forget what I'm willing to make you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't forget what you're willing to do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Take this carrot.
Yeah.
You know where to shove it. It's like, oh man.
I watched you fuck a sheep last week.
All this great initial wisdom, and now we've gone off a cliff.
Well, you know, we've been sipping.
It's just a matter of
you're just watching the decline.
I
thought they were taking life seriously.
You told me to invest. They told me to invest in carrots and shove it in my ass. Like, why do I do that? How's that gonna pay off? You never know. Actually, you have an OnlyFans, depending on what you look like out there in these streets. Maybe that's a market, a very niche, very, very, very niche market, right? Where I'm just spitballing here.
Carrot cookie.
You know what I'm saying? You just dress up in exotic outfits. Maybe your favorite or your fan base's favorite
you paint your
character or something like that.
You paint it like a rabbit.
Exactly. Why not?
Paint it like a rabbit.
And then you wait till next week to find out what did she paint it this time. Maybe a nice avatar for us.
I think you need to stop. We need to start OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly right. So then balls out. So they're like, what is he doing? I'll pay $5 more. Yeah.
Private show.
Yeah. Like your joints like the tree trunk, and then like your butt hairs like fucking bushes.
Butt hair.
Like,
what butt hair?
Oh,
come on now.
Well, people have that. I don't, but
negative.
Have that.
Nobody I fuck with.
Yeah, I don't know if I do or not. I never really checked back there.
I was hanging out with a couple that I know very well. A couple from Arizona. Older couple. Absolute fucking riot. And the wife comes up to me. She goes, she was Joe. She goes, no one in this group, there's like 20 folks at this party. She goes, no one here has a single hair from the neck down.
Prove it.
I will not say that because I know. Look, they're wild. They're wild. They'll be like,
I'm like,
Yeah. Hot tub?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, everybody's just slipping and sliding because the skin's all slick.
I mean, you were there.
Hell
yeah.
So, no wonder.
Hey.
I was in the back doing examination.
I thought you look familiar.
You're good. All right, dismissed.
Yeah.
All right, spread the cheeks. Yep, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
For me, like, I don't think it matters. And by all means, correct me if I'm wrong. No, I'm telling you this. Let's just talk about the Genesis. And probably, no doubt. So I remember, like, when I was younger. So actually, in particular, I want to say it was American Pie 3 when he was getting married.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the clippers and he's shaving his joint up or whatever, and then he's throwing out the window or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I remember like bringing that up. I remember bringing that up to my boys, like, yo, like, dude, like, clip this ball hair, and they were like, well, yeah, I manscape all the time. I was like, what? Wait, hold on a second. What? Why are you doing that? Like, for me, like, that's like a chick thing. You know what I mean? And for me, and this never wasn't a thing that it wasn't part of my routine, nothing like that. Then as I got older, and granted, it was never requested either. The one thing if like a female requested it, it wasn't. And so I remember like years later, this one. I mean, and the thing about it, it's not like ladies aren't going down there and still doing the job. You know what I'm saying? So like, why would I change? But anyway, one person in particular was like, you know what? I think you should clip it down. And granted, I'm not gonna fight you. Sounds good. So I did that, and I was like, bet. You mean? I mean, the thing about it, since I was the first one, I was like, obviously this is baby hair, so I'm cutting. You know what I mean?
We got it.
I don't know why, and it's all good.
Embrace it.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so I say this because now it's like a routine thing, right? One person in particular, she said, you know what? I prefer to be smooth, scorch the earth. And I was like, damn, how do I do that? Mm-hmm. So I went online. Because I can't put razors on my boys.
He went online.
I went online. It's all about the research. I'm a researching fucking fanatic. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know, I gotta look at multiple sources, try to get a consensus, and then all of a sudden, I have my way forward. So I went online and I looked. I was like, I can't use a razor. The clipper is getting it low, right? Mm-hmm. The clippers with the guard or no guard, depending if you got the Andis joints or whatever. But she requested scorched earth policy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, shit, minus a razor, how do I get it done? So what I did was, now granted, I used this depilatory on my face and on my head, and I was like, can I use it on the goods. I looked it up. Guys are like, best, cleanest shit I've ever had in my life. It's like, say word. So I went in there, painted them up. You know what I'm saying? A proper war paint. Gave it some time, wiped it right off. She was a happy customer. So anyway, so I say all this to ask. I don't know what's going beyond no man's land, if you know what I mean. Because now, does it matter? You're talking about shaved, tiny holes.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying, you know what? That should be clean as a whistle. I can't guarantee that that's still an overgrown potential area for me. However, the only way I know to go back there to get that done is a Brazilian. I'm not going to sit there and pull a mirror out and be in there going ham. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do
the
that.
stuff that you use everywhere else.
I could,
there?
but to me, in my mind, that's going to make, I'm going to light my ass on fire if I go and do that.
It's an investment.
But if I have,
bring it back.
but if I have 3rd-degree burns on my butthole, every time I take a dump, I'm like, ha, 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 and that's painful.
But you've never had a cleaner wipe, though.
Yeah, but no. But then it's going to grow back, and then would we do this again? Absolutely not.
Look, like, we could take this a million different ways.
Okay.
I'm certain.
But who's going back there, though?
I would.
Well, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, I mean,
some people do.
Some people do. Some people
but
do.
Once again, though, is that a highly grown area where betwixt the cheeks, it's required that those little fine hairs need to be removed?
So, for me personally, just with me, including no one else, sexual or otherwise, I hate body hair.
But you can't see it in there. Well,
so I'm also not a black man, and so I can take a razor to just about everything.
You razor in there?
I can razor everything.
That doesn't, like, you now are we talking like the cheeks, or are we talking like the hiney hole?
I don't have hair on my hiney hole.
Okay, so you're talking about just getting up in the cheeks. Got you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking all that needs to be.
I'm not a hairy man anyway.
Yeah.
And in most areas that would like drive me crazy, I'm happy I'm not a hairy guy. I don't even have a lot of chest hair. Like I have some as I'm getting older, but it's just enough that I'm like, this is embarrassing. I need to keep it shaved.
I hear you on that.
Underarms, I don't straight razor my underarms because those get irritated. But I'll take the clippers, and just zero guard, keep it short. I don't like it. I don't do nothing with my legs I don't shave my legs, my arms, but like
nobody goes down
pubic regions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, but, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm a very kept man now, right? Very dedicated. But if I was not, and I was with a lady, and let's just say we're in a situation where she bends over and I have access to that, and there's hair there,
we're done here.
We're done. Been done. And I'm going to be rude about it. And I don't want to be, but like I'm going to use a word I used earlier. It would be involuntary almost. And I apologize. I apologize. But we all have standards. We all have expectations. And I want the ladies who are listening to understand that it's okay for you to say shit willy fucking nilly because it's just how you feel sometimes. I'm going to do the same goddamn thing. So if it's not correct.
Yeah. Now, are we talking hair galore? Can the happy trail have a bit of turf? Is that legal? Or you want it all? I don't want to see not even one strand of hair.
I mean, like, things happen, like we're in our 40s now, depending on who you're hooking up with, stuff like that. Time takes its toll, maybe there's a hair somewhere here, and maybe there's a hair that gets a little bit darker, and maybe she missed it or whatever. But like,
But if it's bushed out, we're done here.
I'm just not.
Me neither. I'm not a fan either.
And the thing is, it's like, I mean, without getting too graphic, like it
doesn't look right.
It catches too much, and it right, like.
You ever seen the movie Critters?
No.
Oh, it looks like Critters to me.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word.
I'm gonna show you a picture of that.
I'm gonna take your word.
The thing about it.
So if you want a better sexual experience a relationship out in the world or in these streets, as my friend Salt would say, invest a little time in manscaping or womanscaping. Keep it neat. Keep it clean. I mean, shit. What do they say on? And this all kind of goes together, but Peaky Blinders. Keep his tummy full and his balls empty.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but you can keep his tummy full, but you're gonna have a hard time keeping his balls empty if you aren't keeping it.
Yeah, keep it on point, man. And the thing about it, you know what? I was
keep your kitty clean.
I think if I was a product of the '80s in terms of like I was smashing in the '80s type of a deal, I think a bush wouldn't be no problem because that was like the standard.
But even then it was like trimmed. You know what I mean? We're not talking about like, bush growing like.
Yeah.
Look. Even look at the '60s and '70s. Mm. You see the pictures of people on the beach in their bikinis. Like people kept their bikini line clean. Sure. Like
that's crazy.
Now, I mean, you go back to 1800s, where the ladies didn't shave their legs.
And the thing about it is like for me like that's all I've known in my relationship. Like, since I've been in relationships, you know what I'm saying? That whole experience I've had is women that kept it neat. You know what I'm saying? So it is a shock for me. Now, when I say keep it neat, it was also like they kept like a nice design up the top of the happy trail. Like, that was cool with me because that was something I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, whatever. And I was always intrigued by like what you had in store for me. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, you could like clip it off, like wait like 3 weeks and then got a new one. However, like it was. Like now, if like occasionally I've seen like this werewolf situation down there, and I'm like, oh. And for me, I'm not a fan of that. Mm-hmm. Me, just because I'm accustomed to seeing it a certain kind of a way, and like my expectation is that, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a certain kind of a way. It's like having McDonald's in Japan, and then I come back to the States, and I'm like, this shit sucks. Yeah. Because the expectation, the standard is held high, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Not to knock any bushy vaginas out there, that are out.
I'll just tell you how I equated this to this point, just to not to wrap up this conversation, but really to wrap up the episode because it is about that time.
We're not tracking.
Yeah, it's about that time. But look, I have my expectation for myself and how I see men. Men are okay to be hairy. Right? Like, and I would venture to guess that it's probably a 50-50 split out there. The ladies that are like, oh man, like I like a man with a hairy chest and a beard. Because that signifies masculinity. Yeah, absolutely. For them,
I've heard that on a few occasions. Right. Absolutely.
But you will never find a man who's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to rub my fingers through a beard. So a bushy bush down there to me, I reach and I'm like, oh, they just...
Some guys like that though.
Hey, to each their own.
100%.
To each their own. But they're probably sucking dick on the side too.
I'm gonna get the weed whacker. We're gonna get that right for you. I have no problem whipping that out and getting you right.
I'm just kidding. It's bear season.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I know. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like the thing about it, I know like some ladies they do prefer like, to me that for them it's like masculine and all that. But then some would prefer a cleaned landscape for them to go down there. And I've noticed that, like with myself, if it's, I'm not saying like it's got to be like smooth, you know what I mean? But if it's well groomed, ladies are more apt to want to bless the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, which makes sense. It's presentable. Odds are you keep it clean, like you take care of your hygiene. That's what it is. Well, it's indicative of the hygiene.
100%.
And for those of y'all wondering why I rock a mustache, it's because the last time I shaved it, Mama said, "You seem different. You almost look too young." She said, "Like if I shave this off, apparently I'm 10 years younger immediately."
Well, that's what happens. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but Mama likes the distinguished look, and apparently this is that to her. In her opinion, really, you know what I give a shit about.
You know what? I heard that with from women too. Like when I have like, because I usually I don't like to do like the whole face.
Yeah, didn't you just have a mustache?
I did. I chopped that shit off. I mean, it was driving me crazy. But the thing about it, I can't grow it the way that I normally would. I don't want just a stash. For me, I like to keep like the little light beard or like the goatee. I like to do like that. And the fact that I cut it off. Keeping the stash is nice. The stash takes forever to grow. Everything else comes in fast. So I usually let that kind of do its thing. But I just look like a weirdo when it's just the lip. And I was like, you know what, we're done here. So I chopped it off.
But don't like most black dudes, don't they do more of like a pencil line type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, some do. I mean,
like,
not all. Like Eddie Murphy, he had
like
a nice thick mustache.
George Pryor, but like
Richard Pryor, he had one.
Richard Pryor. I'm sorry, Richard Pryor.
Yeah, yeah. He's. I mean, dudes like even Michael B. Jordan has like a big mustache. Steve Harvey. For me, it's just not a thing. You know what I mean? I'm not like a facial hair type of dude, but if I was, it would be like a number one across the face. But I would have to keep it like, and the thing about it on top of it, I don't really take care of it like I probably should. You know what I'm saying? It gets dry, it gets itchy, and that's I'm like, yo, we're done here. And so like I just
you have like really coarse hair too.
I do.
So do I. And after like my thing is like after about 4 days, I either have to commit to the pain for the next week and a half until it grows out, or I gotta shave.
Yeah,
because my hair is not only coarse; it's probably like it's curly and it's thick, and when it does this,
go right back in. Yeah, and then you're like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm itching all the time.
Yeah.
I got like not to be gross, but like scabs because it's just like digging into my skin and like.
It's like keeping it moisturized. It's like my face just starts sucking it all in. It's a whole different process, but yeah, man. So at the end of the day, gentlemen, I'll tell you like this, and you heard it here from Papa first. Shave the hiney hole. Don't be like Salt. You know what I'm saying? Keep it clean, keep it classy. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you like this, from head to toe, and this is just standard for me. And you heard it here first. For me, in my mind, with the awesome relationships I've had with these amazing women out there in this world, one thing that I've noticed is that women take care, they put a lot of thought into their attire. And when I say their attire, it's from top to bottom. Every layer is thought out. You know what I'm saying? They know when they walk out that the potential someone might see this is there. You know what I'm saying? And on a consistent basis, I've gotten with some of these ladies, and they look gorgeous on the outside, of course, like they put themselves together. Then you get to like that next layer, it's just like, wow, the matching red lace joints and all that, and I'm just like, now for me, what do I got? Some basic ass fucking Hanes maybe back in the day, you know. And in my mind, like, and after doing this for like a while, I'm sitting like, well, shit, man. And this is why like the manscaping thing became like something that was like, it has to be routine, because she put in all this effort, and I just showed the fuck up. Like I just showed up. You know what I mean? I could care less, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? And granted, no one complained, but now I'm thinking in my mind like, you're coming to me at a very high level. You know what I'm saying?
This is also another conversation, because she's not going home with you unless she sees potential. So you're saying you just showed up, but she sees something more, right? I mean, most women aren't going to go home with some dude that they don't see value in on some sort. Whether and that goes from the low key millionaire who showed up looking fairly basic but was popping bottles and paid cash, to the celebrity that was very much recognized. There's a story there, right? And for that for most ladies, I would imagine, I would love to have some ladies on the show. Please, if you have any interest, reach out, let us know. So we can get your perspective on these things. But I have to imagine, they find value, some value, and it's got to be fairly significant value, unless they hope, to, they dress proper like that because they have an agenda.
Oh, but maybe not though. There's even gentlemen as well, right?
I'm saying once it comes to that point, there's now an agenda.
100%.
Very rarely, do I think people go out on the streets, like, now, granted, there's dudes that go out in the streets all the time, like, man, I just want to get laid.
Yeah, but how much care do they put into that, though? You're not presenting that. 9 times. Think
how
about how many
often
dudes
do they do a deep clean?
Shit. You know what I'm saying? The fact that that's even a thing. Dudes are... guys are gross. Dudes are gross. Let's just be clear. And
we're not gross.
Oh, shit, listen. Impeccable hygiene. Let's just be clear, though. dudes are gross, and I understand that to be true. Which is why, for ladies, I'm looking out for you in your best interest. Dudes need to take that time, take that care, and think about every level like they do. When women are out there, they're soaking in the tub, they're getting the goodies right, they're washing in all the good places, they're smelling good when they walk out the door, they're putting on body spray, they're putting the first layer on, they're probably going more body spray, put that next level on, more body spray, and then they're putting their makeup on. And then you know what? Just before I walk out the door, let's just make fucking sure. And then they're walking out. They're click-clack into their car. They go get their girls. Yeah, bitches, we're going to go do this thing. Right? They're going down them streets. And then for you...
Salt's going to show up tonight.
Yeah, and all I'm doing is, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And I'm playing. However, all I'm doing is I'm hopping in the shower. I'm getting right. But I'm not doing all... I'm not doing all the extra things that you just
doesn't mean God. I hope he doesn't mean that.
No, but this is be clear.
I hate you times 10. That's how you operate.
No, is that poopery? This guy's amazing. No, but like I think like when it comes to like us dudes, like we don't like for me I do. You know what I'm saying? But let's just talk about me when I was younger. You know, I'm not putting in that type of thought into my outfit a whole lot, right? I'm just gonna sit there, you know, like back in the day. I'm putting on some jeans, I'm putting on my boots, I'm throwing on a t-shirt, putting on my fitted, I'm walking out the door. I don't have to do my hair. I'm bald. You know what I'm saying? I had a baby face, didn't have to worry about that. I mean, I put some studs in, walk out. I'm not putting them in, accessorizing. And I'm like a basic type of dude. No, I don't really give a shit about all that. But then I meet a woman who, for me, first thing out the gate, aside from the look, you smell right. And I love that shit. If a woman, if you can hypnotize me with your smell, I'm like, talk to me some more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I could care that. For me, something about like a good, a buddy of mine said this, and I was like, I couldn't agree more. He said, I said, you know, what are the greatest smells of the world? And we both were like, okay, like a pizza parlor, sure. A pizza parlor, a coffee shop. And then my homeboy was like, you know what? A woman fresh out the shower just smelling amazing. And I was like, you know what? God damn it, you're right. That's like an amazing scent. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I don't know if
it just sticks on them.
Oh,
for days.
For no damn reason. Because that's just...
I'm out to shower 12 hours. I'm like, ew, I need to shower again.
And you know on top of that, our scents suck. I mean, it's manly shit, right? It's like, you know, bergamot and whatever. And women find it to be, you know, like, oh, you're like a guy.
Look, right? I'll be full blown. I normally don't talk about my wife in this level of detail, but my wife, you know, from time to time, a couple days would go by, you know, life happens. She's like, I haven't showered. I'm like, fuck, you could have fooled me.
Game time.
You know, she cuddles up next to me. I smell her neck, and I'm just like,
that's a wrap.
Fucking my eyes go cross.
Man, there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. Look, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
So, hey, clip the
cheeky
cheekies.
stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Starborough.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We've been sipping on your stuff all day. And you know what? I had this down in Alabama. I was out there last year. And a friend of mine, she put me onto this one right here. And I was like, you know what? This is it's a very unique flavor. Like I've had a lot of white wines and Sauvignon Blanc in particular, but this one has the most unique flavors that I've ever had. And now it's like my go-to, this Starborough. So check it out. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. And I don't think it's anything like I've ever had out there in the world, to be honest. It just jumped out at me, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
No.
It's that one. So
you find your taste.
100%.
Just remember, you heard it here first.
100%. Well, come by, man.
Hey, man.
Another one of the books.
See you in the morning.
Yes, indeed. You guys take it easy. We are out. Peace.
See you.